Very good afternoon. I'm Shweta Singh, Assistant Professor in SOIT. This topic belongs to BCA 6th semester from ISED Information System Analysis and Design paper. Topic is Software Development Lifecycle. What is Software Development Lifecycle? Framework that describe the activities performed at each stage of a software development project. That is the important part of a project. There are some phases of Sdlc, software development lifecycle. We have some phases. According to that phases, we will implement our project. We will implement our system. First phase is requirement gathering and analysis. Second phase is design. Third phase is development, testing, implementation, and after all, last phase is maintenance. Sdlc phases, phase 1 is formation, phase 2 is requirement planning, phase 3 is design, phase 4 is construct, and phase 5 is test. Phase 6 product release, phase 7 post implementation. So these are the phases of Sdlcs. In first phase, we initiate the project, we start the project. We have rough order of magnitude, project development estimate. After project initiation, we'll start with the requirement definition. We have some requirement. We have to define that particular requirement in a format. We will made a software requirement specification according to that requirement. This is the document. This is the agreement document between the two parties, which is called SRS, software requirement specification, right? After making the requirement specification, we have a design phase in which we have internal and external design, and we have design review, and finally we will prepare the detailed project development plan. After the design phase, we have the construct phase, we have the coding phase, which is also called coding. In a particular language, we will implement that design, which we have maintained, which we have made in Sdlc. Construct, we have some specific language, we have some specific programming language. We will review the code, then make the prototype. After the construction, we have our testing phase. We have two types of testing, black box testing and white box testing. After testing, we will release the product. There is some acceptance testing, operational acceptance and acceptance document. After product release, we have some enhancement maintenance, which is called post implementation. This is all about Sdlc phases. There are some models in Sdlc to help understand and implement the Sdlc phases. Various Sdlc models have been created by software development experts, universities and standards organization. There are some reasons for using Sdlc model because provides basis for project planning, estimation and scheduling, provides framework for standard set of terminologies, activities and deliverables, provides mechanism for project tracking and control, increase visibility of project progress to all stakeholders. These are the basic reasons why we choose the Sdlc models. There are some advantage of choosing appropriate Sdlc model. First advantage is increased development speed, increased product quality, improved tracking and control, improved client relation, decreased project risk, and decreased project management overhead. Important advantage is to decrease the project risk, which is the important part of the software development lifecycle. There are some specific models. We can say some common life cycle model. First is waterfall model. Second is spiral model, which is also called iterative model. And last is the agile model. These are some specific name of Sdlc model. What is the waterfall model? This is the standard approach, which is called standard model. There are some phases, like first phase is analysis, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. It is also called linear sequential model. Waterfall model is the oldest and most well-known Sdlc model, follows a sequential step-by-step process from requirement analysis to maintenance. Systems that have well-defined and understood requirement are a good fit for the model. There are some specific reasons why we choose the waterfall model, because this is the oldest and well-known model, we can say. This is used when we have the well-defined and understood requirement. There is no change in the requirement, then we will use that particular approach. There is some strength, like it is easy to understand, easy to use, provide structure to inexperienced staff, milestones are well understood, sets requirements stability, good for management control, works well when quality is more important than cost or schedule. There is some weakness. All requirement must be fully specified upfront. Deliverables created for each phase are considered frozen. Can gives a false impression of progress, does not reflect problem solving nature. Integration is one big bang at the end, little opportunity for customer to preview the system. There is some weakness, there is some drawback, we can say, for using the waterfall model. When to use that particular approach? When requirements are well known, product definition is stable, technology is understood, new version of an existing product, porting an existing product to a new platform. Second model is a spiral and iterative model. There is the diagram of spiral model. First phase is the requirement analysis, then design, then development, then quality assurance, deployment, maintenance, enhancement, requirement gathering. Spiral model is a risk-driven iterative model, divides a project into iteration. Each iteration deals with one or more risks. Each iteration starts with a small set of requirement and goes through development phase for those set of requirement. Iterate until all major risks addressed and the application is ready for the installation and maintenance phase. Each of the iteration prior to the production version is a prototype of the application. Last iteration is a waterfall process. There is some strength, we can say. Spiral is the very important model in the SDLC models. There is some strength, like provides early indication of risk without much cost. Critical high risk function are developed first. The design does not have to be perfect. Users see the system early. Because of rapid prototyping tools, user can be closely tied to all life cycle steps, early and frequent feedback from user. There is some weakness. Time spent for evaluation risk too large for small or low risk project. This model is complex. Risk assessment expertise is required. Spiral may continue indefinitely. May be hard to define objective, verifiable milestone that indicate readiness to proceed through the next iteration. There is some situation when we use the spiral model, when creation of a prototype is appropriate, when cost and risk evaluation is important. For medium to high risk project, users are unsure of their needs, requirements are complex, new product lines, significant changes are expected. Third model is agile model. There is some stages like develop, test, discover. Develop, test, discover, design. Again, also same thing will repeat. Speed up or bypass one or more life cycle phases, usually less formal and reduced scope, used for time critical applications, used in organization that employ disciplined method. Nowadays, IT industries are using agile model. Some agile methods are rapid application development, stream programming, adaptive software development, feature-driven development, crystal clear, DSDM, dynamic software development method, and RUP, rational unified process. These are the agile method which are currently using many IT industries are using that particular methods for agile. Agile model strength is deliver a working product faster. Fast delivery is the important part of agile model. Feedback of the customer at every stage ensure that end deliverable satisfies their expectation. No guesswork between the development team and the customer. There is some weakness. It is difficult to judge the efforts and time required for the project in the SDLC. Since the requirements are ever changing, there is hardly any emphasis which is laid on designing and documentation. Therefore, chances of the project going off the track easily are much more. So this is all about SDLC model. I have discussed three models: waterfall model, spiral model, which is also called iterative model, and last is agile model. Agile model is the current model which our IT industries are using. So this is all about SDLC models. Thank you so much, students.